me the power.
All right, so I'm up in Lanier Raceway across the street from Road Atlanta. And I'm here for a downforce battle put on by Caffeine and Octane. A downforce battle is essentially a autocross battle where you and one other car are on mirrored versions of a custom course that they design with cones and barriers. And whoever navigates the course first by going through the checkered cones straight ahead on the picture right here is the winner. And those who collect enough wins over time throughout the days get to go on and compete in the championship. And I believe there's even a cash prize at the end. But today I finally ran into a case where I actually need traction control and eventually stability control off. I never ran into this case, but today it became absolutely necessary. So watch me as I learn. All right, so this is my first run. I'm on the left side, which is the wetter side, but ultimately I'm just trying to get a feel for the course here. There's a wet patch right there. Me getting confused about where the turn is. And then you'll see in later videos, but I actually cut one whole turn out of the course right there. But I don't think that's entirely my fault. And I also stopped a little early here. Ultimately, I'm really just trying to get a feel for the course here. So no stresses there. And for the second run here, I'm on the right side, the drier side. You can see there my traction control had kicked in. That's going to be a huge cause of pain for most of the day here until I finally realize what's going on. But I find the side to be much more comfortable and easier to read. I think they laid out the cones a little bit better here. In addition, I think that I just generally favor clockwise oriented tracks, and this layout is mostly clockwise for the primary direction. And pay attention to the exit of this last corner. So you can't really tell, I was in first gear, and for some reason, I was able to floor it, and I was getting zero power. The car was just not responding to me. I kept my foot on the floor because I was waiting for it to, give me some kind of response. Let me know that it was, sensing my inputs. So that was very strange, and that's also a theme that came out today. So as you can see here, I'm going against a Tesla, so not quite an even match there. But again, my traction control kicks in when launching. And I think overall this is a better run than, I guess, my first few, especially on the side. As you can see here, I have a much better braking point around this corner. On this final corner, I'm still not getting the power I'm requesting, and that really is a cause of frustration.
Give me the power.
You see, I'm voicing that frustration audibly, and yeah, that was just really annoying. My biggest thing here was that perhaps I need to turn off traction control. So in this session, that's exactly what I did. So you see I got some wheel spin that I was correcting, and the car yelled at me about something. So here I am thinking, okay, my traction control is absolutely off. This is gonna be, a run where I can better understand the state of the car, and the car is gonna listen to me. But as I approach this corner, I'm still getting the issue of power. Even with traction control off, it's not giving me the power I want when I want it. And so with this in mind, I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna have to turn off everything. I'm gonna have to turn off pre-collision, stability control, everything that Lexus Toyota, gives me to keep the car on all four wheels. I'm gonna have to turn it off.
Thank you.
Next, I'm going in with no traction control, no stability control, and you see I have full control of the throttle and I have a great start. The car feels much more natural. It's all coming to me. A little bit of sway there, but not a problem. And we approach our problem corner in much better traction. The wheels probably spun just a little bit, but that's exactly what I want. It seems that in this case, I knew better than the computer about what's going on, and that's exactly what I want out of the car.
Okay, all I need is traction control on.
Yeah, so much better response, and was very happy about that. That was a pretty good run. It wasn't all peaches and cream though. And you'll see in these later runs, I very much appreciate the amount of response I'm getting from the car, but that also meant that I had to be a little bit more mindful of my inputs. Put power down a little bit too early, and rear steps out a little bit, and then I lose traction in the fronts and I understeer, and I actually hit a puddle and also hit my head on the B pillar there. So a bit of a strange run, but again, I'm still appreciative of the responsiveness that I'm getting from the car. Much better than earlier. And in this session, I get a little happy with the rears on launch, so I spin a little bit. Not a problem though. I believe this run was actually pretty close, and so that's me being hesitant on the throttle. It's 472 horsepower or so, and I don't really want to spin the wheels when turning almost 180 degrees with a barrier right next to me. But I think it was a mostly okay run. I actually thought I won it, but as you see here, I didn't.
Just barely. Oh man.
To my surprise. Yeah, so that wasn't the best start, but this run was just funny for other reasons. I think in the beginning and middle sections, I did very all right. Not spectacular, but also not too poor. Broke it a little bit late there, but not too much time lost, I don't think. But there, a lot of power, much too early, and rocks the car. The rear has stepped out, and you probably heard that I actually knocked my helmet on the B pillar again. So I probably should have been more patient there with putting power down. But for some reason, I feel like I have more grip out of those tires than I actually do. And that is actually part of the reason why one of my first upgrades in this car is to put on some grippier tires, especially those that perform a little bit better in the wet. I believe this car comes stock with Bridgestone Potenzas, and we could do better than that. Ultimately though, enemies number 1 and 2 today were traction control and stability control. That's a bit of a surprise to me, namely because at all of my previous track days and motorsport experiences, they've never been an issue, at least to my knowledge. As a matter of fact, I've been across the street at Road Atlanta in the wet, and traction control actually saved the car several times. But I guess when it comes to lower speed, sort of more harsh cornering like this scenario, I suppose that they can be obtrusive in a sense. And for that reason, I'm especially thankful that I was able to come out to an experience like this and be caught in a scenario such as this. And it really is helpful that I have training, quote, training in simulators like Gran Turismo and Assetto Corsa, where I naturally drive without traction control, that help sort of strengthen that skill set for me. It felt very natural to have more control over the rear wheels via the throttle pedal without sort of those control systems intervening. And ultimately, yeah, thank you to Caffeine and Octane, and I had a great time. And thanks for watching.